Ladies and gentlemen, when I was young, I worried every single day about my future. I worried if I could ever get a job, if I would ever succeed, if I would ever make my family proud. And do you know what happened? Almost everything I worried about never actually happened. Instead, life surprised me in ways I could never imagine. The truth is, the future is not something to worry about. It is something to work for. Worry never creates the future. When people ask me, Jack, aren't you afraid of the future? The economy is uncertain, technology is changing, and the world is moving too fast. I always tell them, don't be afraid of the future. Be afraid of doing nothing today. If you are always worrying, you waste your energy. Worry will not make tomorrow better, but learning today, improving today, helping someone today, that will make tomorrow better. When I failed my exams, when I was rejected from dozens of jobs, even KFC rejected me, I could have worried about my future forever. But I chose not to. Instead, I asked myself, what can I do today, no matter how small, to be better tomorrow? The future is not written in the stars. It is written in the small steps you take today. If you focus too much on the future, you will miss the opportunities in front of you right now. So my advice is simple: don't waste time worrying. Use that time to prepare. Don't fear the future. Use that fear to push yourself to work harder. Don't look at tomorrow with anxiety. Look at today with determination. Remember, the people who succeed are not the ones who predict the future. They are the ones who prepare for it. They are the ones who say, I don't know what will happen tomorrow, but I will do my best today. One day you will look back and realize all the sleepless nights of worrying were useless. The future is like the sunrise. Whether you worry or not, it will still come. The question is, will you be ready? So don't worry about the future. Work for it, prepare for it, and trust that your hard work today will give you the tomorrow you deserve. The future is not to be feared, it is to be prepared for. Worrying changes nothing, but learning, improving, and acting today creates everything. When I was young, I was always worrying about what was ahead. I thought, what if I never get into a good school? What if I never find a good job? What if I fail and everyone laughs at me? I worried so much about the future that I lost focus on the present. But over time I learned one very important lesson: the future is not shaped by worry. The future is shaped by what you do right now. Worry is the most expensive waste of energy. It consumes your heart, it eats your time, and it gives you nothing in return. But preparation, learning, hard work, kindness, and courage, these are the things that build your tomorrow. When I was rejected from so many jobs, even from KFC, I could have sat in my room worrying, thinking my future was hopeless. But instead I asked myself, what can I do today, even if it is small, that makes me more ready for tomorrow? That is the attitude that built me. The truth is, nobody knows the future. Not you, not me, not even the smartest professor or the richest businessman in the world. The world changes too fast. What you think will happen may never happen, and what you never expect may come to you as an opportunity. So why waste your energy worrying about what you cannot control? The only thing you can control is your effort today. If you spend today worrying about tomorrow, you will miss the opportunities that are already in front of you. Imagine you are sailing a boat, and you keep staring at the horizon, afraid of the storm that might come in a week. You will not see the rock that is right in front of you, and your boat will crash. Shh. This is how most people live. They spend their lives worrying about problems that are not even real, and they forget to handle the opportunities and challenges of today. Successful people are not the ones who predict the future. They are the ones who prepare for it. They are the ones who say, I cannot see everything ahead, but I can make myself stronger, smarter, and more capable today, so no matter what comes, I am ready. When I started Alibaba, we had no money, no technology, no reputation. If I had worried every day about the future, we would have never survived. I did not know if the company would live or die, but I knew that if we worked hard, if we learned, if we treated people with honesty, then we had a chance. And that is the key word: chance. Worrying does not create chances, but working today does. People always ask me, what if I fail tomorrow? I tell them, you are already failing if you are wasting today with worry. The future does not kill dreams. It is inaction today that kills dreams. Think about how much time people waste on worry. They worry about the economy. They worry about competition. They worry about technology replacing them. They worry about whether people will like them. They worry about losing before they even start. And because they worry, they never begin. But the person who does not worry and instead takes one small step forward, that person is already ahead of millions of others. Do not underestimate the power of one small taken today. The future is built on small steps, not on big worries. When I was in school, I failed many exams. At that time, I worried that my life was finished, but those failures did not end me. They taught me to keep trying. When I applied to Harvard 10 times and got rejected 10 times, I could have sat down and cried and told myself I had no future. But those rejections pushed me to believe in my own path. So what is the point of worry? The things you fear may not happen, but the lessons you learn from action will always stay with you. The future belongs to those who are flexible, those who are willing to change, those who are not afraid to try. If you sit at home worrying, you will never grow flexible. You only become flexible by meeting challenges, by taking action when others are frozen by fear. That is how you build the muscle to face the unknown. The future is like a river. You cannot stop the flow. You cannot predict every turn. But if you become a good swimmer today, you will be ready for whatever waters you find yourself in. In time, young people often come to me and say, "Jack, I am worried about my career. I am worried about my relationships. I am worried about money. I am worried about what my parents will think. I am worried that I will not be successful." And I tell them, of course you worry because you are still young. But remember this is when you are 20, do not worry too much. That is the age to learn, to make mistakes, to fail, to discover yourself. When you are 30, do not worry too much. That is the age to try new things, to fight hard, to prove your value. When you are 40, do not worry too much. That is the age to focus. Time to do something you are best at. When you are 50, do not worry too much. That is the age to guide others, to give your wisdom. And when you are 60 or 70, do not worry too much. That is the age to enjoy your life, to be proud of what you built. At every stage of life, worry is useless, but action is priceless. I remember once I told my team, we are not competing with big companies today. We are competing with ourselves. If we worry about what big companies are doing, in time, we'll never catch up. But if we focus on improving ourselves today, step by step, one day we will be strong enough. And that is exactly what happened. We became strong not because we worried about the future, but because we worked every day to be a little better than yesterday. So think about your own life. What are you worrying about right now? Maybe you worry about exams, or about finding a job, or about starting a business, or about what people will think of you. But if you spend all your time worrying, what will change? Nothing. Instead, ask yourself, what can I do today to be more ready tomorrow? Maybe you can read a book. Maybe you can practice a skill. Maybe you can send an application. Maybe you can make a new connection. Maybe you can help someone else. These small things, they build your future. Let me tell you something very important. The world does not belong to the worriers. The world belongs to the doers. The people who may not know what tomorrow holds, but they know what they can do right now. Worry is like sitting in a rocking chair. You move back and forth, but you go on nowhere. Action is like walking on the road. Maybe the road is hard, maybe you get tired, but at least you are moving forward. With time, when you move forward, the future opens for you. The people who change the world are never the ones who worried too much. They are the ones who said, yes, I am afraid. Yes, I am uncertain, but I will try anyway. The future is not about being fearless. It is about being courageous enough to act even with fear. Courage is not the absence of worry. It is the decision to not let worry control you. And that decision is what creates greatness. So do not let your mind become a prisoner of tomorrow. Free your mind by working hard today. Do not ask, what will the world look like in 10 years? Ask, wish it today so that no matter what the world looks like, I will still have value. That is how you stop worrying and start preparing. That is how you stop wasting energy and start building energy. That is how you stop fear in the future and start shaping it with your own hands. Do not waste your energy on what you cannot control tomorrow. Invest your energy in what you can control today. When I was young, I used to waste so much time thinking about what might happen to me in the future. I thought, maybe I will fail, maybe I will never succeed, maybe people will laugh at me, maybe life will be too hard. But with time, I realized something very important. The future is not under your control. The only thing you truly have power over is what you are doing right now in this moment. Every hour you spend worrying about tomorrow is an hour you lose from building today. Every bit of energy you spend on is energy stolen away from action. So the most important choice you can make is to put your energy where it matters, into your work, your learning, your improvement, your discipline, your kindness, your determination. Today, when I was rejected from dozens of jobs, I had two choices. One was to spend my days worrying that I would never have a career. The other was to learn to try to build something by myself. If I had chosen the first option, Alibaba would not exist today. The difference between worry and work is huge. Worry takes your energy away. Work gives your energy meaning. You cannot control whether people reject you, but you can control how much you keep trying. You cannot control whether the market will go up or down tomorrow, but you can control how prepared you are to face the changes. You cannot control whether you will face failure, but you can control whether you keep standing up after you fall. So many people live their whole lives stuck in fear of things they cannot control. They fear the economy, they fear technology, they fear what other people think, they fear rejection, they fear failure. They spend years being paralyzed, waiting for the perfect moment when everything feels safe. But let me tell you, there is no perfect moment. The future is never safe. The future is always uncertain. In time, if you wait for everything to be perfect, you will wait forever. The people who achieve greatness are not the ones who wait for certainty. They are the ones who move forward even when the future is uncertain. Life is like climbing a mountain. If you keep staring at the peak, afraid of how high it is and worrying about whether you can reach it, you will never take the first step. But if you focus on the ground in front of you, one step, then another step and another, eventually you will be surprised how far you have gone. Worrying about the peak does not take you closer to it. Walking today does. That is why you must invest your energy in what you can do now. When I started Alibaba, I did not know if the company would survive. I could not control the economy. I could not control whether big competitors would crush us. I could not control the future of the internet. But what I could control was how much we worked every day, how honest we were with customers, how determined we were as a team, how much we improved ourselves step by step. And that is exactly what we did. We invested our energy into what was in our hands, not into what was far beyond our reach. And slowly, step by step, that energy built something real. If you are a student, you cannot control what the exam questions will be tomorrow, but you can control how much you study today. If you are an entrepreneur, you cannot control how the market will react tomorrow, but you can control how hard you work on your product today. If you are building your career, you cannot control whether the world will suddenly change in 5 years, but you can control whether you are developing skills, connections, and habits today. The future rewards people who use today wisely, not people who waste today worrying about tomorrow. Think about how nature works. A farmer cannot control the weather tomorrow. He cannot control whether the sun will shine or the rain will fall. But what can he do? He can plant seeds today. He can water his crops today. He can take care of the soil today. If he does nothing because he is too worried about tomorrow's weather, then no crop will ever grow. But if he works today, then when tomorrow comes, no matter if it rains or shines, he will have something. Life is exactly the same. You are the farmer of your own future. Plant the seeds today. Care for them today. Tomorrow will take care of itself. People always ask me, Jack, how do you stay confident in the future when the world is so uncertain? And I tell them, I don't try to control the world. I cannot, nobody can. What I do is focus on what I can control. My attitude, my team, my preparation, my effort, my learning. I cannot change the waves of the ocean, but I can build a stronger boat. I cannot stop the wind, but I can adjust my sails. That is the mindset you need. Stop fighting to control what you cannot and start investing in what you can. When you waste energy on tomorrow, you lose the power to change today. When you put your energy into today, tomorrow automatically becomes better. Think of life like building a house. And if you keep worrying about how the roof will look in 10 years, but you never lay a brick today, then the house will never exist. But if you lay one brick carefully today, and another the day after, one day you will stand inside a beautiful home. You never needed to know every detail of the future. You only needed to use your energy to build one piece at a time. Many people say, Jack, what if I work hard today and tomorrow still brings failure? And I tell them, in time, then you will still be stronger, smarter, and more experienced because of what you did today. That experience will carry you forward to the next chance. Worry gives you nothing even if tomorrow is easy. Action gives you strength even if tomorrow is hard. That is why action will always win over worry. When you look at successful people, they are not the ones who worried less about the future. They are the ones who acted more in the present. They made mistakes, but they fell down, they got rejected, they faced failures. But because they invested their energy in today, they kept moving forward. Success is never about predicting the future perfectly. It is about using today wisely, so no matter what the future brings, you are ready. The secret to confidence is not knowing what tomorrow holds. The secret is trusting yourself because of what you did today. Every time you choose to study, to practice, to create, to help, to improve, you are building a stronger version of yourself. And when the future comes, you will not be afraid, because you will know I did everything I could today. That is how you stop living in fear and start living in power. Do not wait for someone to guarantee your tomorrow. Nobody will. In time, do not wait for someone to promise you success. Nobody can. The only guarantee you have is the work you put in today. The only promise you can count on is the promise you make to yourself to never waste your energy on fear and worry. The future does not belong to the worriers. The future belongs to the builders. The build ones who put their energy where it matters, who understand that the best way to predict tomorrow is to act today. So every time you feel fear, every time you feel worry, ask yourself, can I control this? If the answer is no, let it go. Do not waste your energy. If the answer is yes, put your time, your focus, your discipline into it. That is the way to live powerfully. The people who live with this mindset, they may not control the world, but they control themselves. And that is the most powerful control of all.